welcome to the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie, powered in part by Thin Line Fest and Classic of Denton.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here on DentonRadio.com with the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie. Tonight I am so happy to share with you, we have some very wonderful people here from Memphis. We have director Teresa Farrell. We have Christian Houston, who is playing one of the leads, and we have Jonathan McInnes. Thank you guys so much for being here. I cannot wait to share you guys with the rest of Denton and beyond. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. So we're going to talk about Memphis and this wonderful story that's going to be a production here with Music Theater of Denton, and shout out to Music Theater of Denton. Thank you guys for having them here with us too. Let's get into it. Let's talk about this production.
Yeah.
Let's first of all tell us who you are, each of you.
My name is Jonathan McInnes. I'm a professional actor around the area, the DFW Metroplex. And I've been doing theater pretty much my entire life. Mm-hmm. And so I'm also a photographer. In fact, the promo pictures we were talking about, I was both in front of the camera and behind the camera at the same time.
That's amazing.
I just, kind of being an artist is at my core,
mm-hmm.
and it just everything I do kind of goes around everything that has to do with art. So
very, very awesome, and I can relate to that because I love photography. I'm a photographer too, so yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And awesome job on being behind and in front of the
Thank
camera.
You.
Loved it.
It was a unique challenge in itself
to watch him run back and forth.
Literally, like running back and forth.
It was very entertaining.
I mean, there are some individual shots of me where it's like I'm running, running to the camera, running in front. I'm like, okay, cool. I have 9 shots, 1 second in between, and it's like we have jump shots. So it's like boom, boom, 1, 2, 3, jump, 1, 2, 3, jump.
Oh my gosh! And you're talking about the promo, the promo banner that we have out
mm-hmm.
here at the Discover Denton Welcome Center, which will probably be in certain places around town and at the
mm-hmm.
campus theater, but. He's in that photo, and I had commented how amazing the photo was, and it's just so rich. And I mean, I love photography, so of course I'm like, but you took it too, which is
mm-hmm.
amazing to me because your expression is just so perfect. It's kudos to you for that.
It wouldn't have been able to be like that if we didn't have the chemistry we did, and so if it wasn't for this woman right here.
Well, it definitely shows. It's a wonderful photo, and I do mean that in the true sense. It's a great photo of both of you. So, Christian, take it away.
Hello, I'm Christian Houston. I'm playing Felicia Farrell.
Yes.
Felicia Farrell. I've been doing theater for a while now. I wouldn't say all my life. I really got into it maybe about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love it. I choreograph as well too, here and there throughout the DFW area. But I'm just excited. This is one of my dream shows, dream roles.
Nice.
I got to choreograph it once. Now I get to be Felicia. So
yes.
I'm excited.
Yay. I'm glad you're in it. Can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
And you, Miss Director?
Yes, and I'm Teresa Farrell.
Yep.
Different.
Very different.
It's spelled, well, I think in the show it's spelled Farrell.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm Ferrell.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the director,
Mm-hmm.
and very, very proud to be the director.
Ma'am.
This is the first production that I've directed for MTD. However, I've been in several other shows for MTD.
Nice.
Hot Mikado, I was in that, and I was in My Name is Alice, and it was great shows, good fun, to do. I've been directing probably, about 15 years for different theaters around the Metroplex. I enjoy directing. People ask me, do you like being on the stage and being in the show, or do you like being, behind the scenes? And I'm going to say that I probably just like them both equally.
Really?
I do. The directing part, of course, you have to think about, the whole artistic thing about, being a director. And I'm the type of director that when I look, I like to create pictures on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see And I like for the audience to be able to see those pictures. So when I'm blocking and looking at different scenes, I always look to see at the picture. And I think the cast will tell you, I don't sit back. I am, it probably drives them crazy, but I am like right there. And I'm looking while they're moving. Okay, move over here.
True.
You know. Now I do, I mean, as the show progresses, and yes, I retreat. But when I'm first blocking the show and creating those pictures, I have to be
Your
there.
hands-on stage mom kind of.
Yeah, I'm kind of, there looking at them. And then I gradually, back up.
That is so interesting. I mean, that's the first time I actually think about a director being right there, with them. Obviously, you do tend to see, even in the movies, where the director's sitting in the
back.
Yeah, they're sitting in the pews or the audience seats, and they're directing from there. But that's pretty good. You're hands-on. You're right in there. Hey, you got more than front row. Part of the action. That's really interesting, though, that you have that duality as far as director and actor or actress, and being in the role in both roles. And then sometimes it's like, no, I really love this more. But it's interesting to see how your production takes on a life of its own when you have that experience of being the person performing and producing. I think that's really neat. I'm kudos to you as well for that. So
thank you.
So how did you come about? Do you choose the productions as far, or is it presented to you as like, no, I want to do this one? How does this come about?
For this production, MTD approached me, and like a long time ago. And at first I said, well, I'll have to think about it. And I'm a teacher, and usually I don't do shows when the school year is in. But this show was kind of at the end of the school year. And so I thought, well, okay, I'll go ahead and take a chance, especially since I absolutely love this show, Memphis, the musical. And when you type in Memphis, like online, you better type in the musical.
I did that really quick. I was like, Memphis, nope, the musical.
The musical.
Yeah, because then you get all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love the music. I'm trying to remember where I first saw it on stage. But when I did, I just thought, this is an incredible show with wonderful music. And it won all kinds of Tony Awards for good reason. And so I think I listened to the music and then decided, yeah, we need to do this. Because the show it's probably 85% music and dance.
Oh, yeah.
There's not that much dialogue.
Yeah.
And so I think any audience that comes to see it, they're so entertained the entire time, because every time you look up, there's a song, there's a dance, there's a song, there's a dance. And then you have the dialogue, but then there's a song, there's a dance, there's a song, there's a dance.
A lot of songs.
Yeah, a lot of songs. So I think it just, makes the show exciting, and I can't see anyone being bored saying, okay, what's next?
No.
It hops.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, one of the topics, or one of the era that this is from, is in the 1950s. You've got the whole music world in Memphis and the Del Rey Records and the
rock and roll.
Yeah, the story behind this is just an amazing story. And I had not heard anything about the specific story. And when I started, doing a little research on it, I was like amazed at the storyline. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is based on a real person. This is a great, and I don't want to give away too much because it's like, I'll let y'all be the ones to divulge what y'all usually divulge as far as telling about it. But you guys, and I'm talking to all of y'all, if y'all don't know about Memphis, you have to go and research what the story's about. Go watch the production. I already know that there's no doubt about it. This is going to be amazing production. The topic alone, and just, I already know you guys are going to blow that stage up with color, especially for something, that's already musically drenched before the production. So, I'm really excited. So what do you want to talk about as far as what can we let them know without ruining the whole
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because
I'm trying to think now.
You can let them know that it's a love story.
It is a love story. Let's give them a little bit of a tease here for Memphis. Memphis is an interesting storyline. It is about a
nightclub singer.
Felicia.
And essentially radio DJ Huey Calhoun.
Yes.
And I kind of describe it to people that it's a story of kind of finding where you belong, and how, in this sense, how important this music is to these people, and essentially it's pretty much a very similar story to, with some changes for the show's sake, but it's very similar to how rock and roll was literally born. As is talked about in the show, it's rock and roll is essentially rhythm and blues sped up.
That's a line in the show.
And so it's this kind of background and really interesting story in how this music came to be, with your love story added into it, and it's a very important message, because it's we have it takes place during the 1950s in Memphis, where we have the civil rights movement going on, and segregation is a real thing, and you have all your white folks on Main Street and your color folks on Beale Street, and how this is kind of, I like to describe it to people, as we were kind of talking about earlier. I kind of describe it as a grown-up Hairspray, because it really deals with the ugly side of things.
It tackles that real life issue that and it's relevant even now. So it is one of the interesting things was the challenge of this character, rising above the adversity, and how he was just persevering over and over.
Yeah.
So in spite of those world issues that just kept tackling him down.
I like to think of Huey as a little oblivious, but
oh yeah.
But it's one of his traits that makes him so likable. He's colorblind. He literally he says he doesn't see color, and I think the music is all he sees and all he feels and all he hears, and it doesn't matter that it's coming from someone that looks different from him. He can't understand why it's an issue with some folks, and I think I want to say, throughout the end, which I don't want to give it away, but
I know it's hard to talk about in production when
it is.
He's a big factor. His character is a big factor in changing a lot of people's views. I won't say specifically who in the show, but Huey does come in there kind of like a wrecking ball. We're all kind of like, what is this dude? But I think in the end, he just flips the script for a lot of folks, and that's why I love Huey so much, because he just comes in and he doesn't see color. He doesn't fight it. He doesn't understand why people don't see what he sees. I think that's why Felicia falls in love with him eventually. It takes her a while, but she does eventually fall in love with him.
Yeah, but it's pretty similar to how Dewey Phillips, the guy that my role is based off of, kind of saw this music. Dewey Phillips was a
interesting story.
Yeah, one incredible character of a guy, and of course, like I'm obsessed with this show. I'm like, this is one of my dream shows, dream roles. This is the show that got me to switch my career path into acting and theater. And so I'm like, if there's anything out there, I've latched onto it. And there's only like a few YouTube videos and like one biography over the guy Dewey Phillips that my role is based off of. But he, kind of like what you were saying with Huey, Dewey he just loved the music. He didn't see color.
He didn't have any boundaries.
Yeah.
To him, it was pure.
It's music.
Yeah. You would see him just walking down Beale Street and not be phased whatsoever.
Yeah.
And he was just this wacky guy who had no boundaries, no filter whatsoever. And I think that was one of the reasons why people liked him so much.
Yeah.
That he was 100% himself. Very much like Huey. He just, goes on, he's like given a script and he's like, nope, we're not going on the script. And so, but the thing about Dewey Phillips is he didn't even realize how monumental what he was doing was. He didn't realize how remarkable it was and how much of a change it was causing.
To shift an industry.
Yeah.
To shift a whole industry.
And essentially you have, radio that's all top 40 format and whatnot. And he just like walks into WHBQ, I believe, sets a trash can on fire and runs onto the air.
His tactics.
Yeah.
Because his mission was to get on the air.
And he got on the air.
And he got on the air over and over and over.
And so by, he would just relate with the music. And Huey in the show, it's all about, colored music, the rhythm and blues. With Dewey, it was all music. Dewey was the first person to ever play Elvis Presley on the radio.
I saw that, which is really interesting. It was just that he was the first person to put him out there. He was the one that, embraced him and said, I'm going to give this to you guys.
Yeah. And a lot of musicians started in Memphis and were put on the air first by Dewey. But because of how crazy zany he was, he really connected with a bunch of the teenagers.
Nice.
And his show became kind of like the hottest show in town, the hottest radio show. It's like, oh, we're going to go out, get an ice cream sundae and listen to Dewey's program. Let's see what absolutely crazy stuff he does on the air this time.
Yeah. So he had different niches without even knowing it with certain people and demographics.
Yeah. And I think there's a story out there where, he wanted to see like just how popular am I. So he went on the radio and was like, all right, good people, right at 10 o'clock tonight, go out on your car horns and just go wild with the horn. And which then resulted in the police department calling him and be like, hey, Dewey, we have noise laws here in Memphis.
Oh my God.
You can't do that. And so he's like, well, he goes on air and is like, well, the police department just called and said, we have noise restrictions, but this is a free country. If you want to do it, I can't stop you, but this is what I was told not to do. And then right at 10 o'clock, the whole entire town just goes wild with car horns.
Oh my gosh. What an amazing thing to be a part of.
He literally finds himself as one of the most popular people in Memphis in the 50s. And so because of that and how much he was playing this music and getting it heard, it wasn't on, some colored blues station on the edge of the radio dial. It was right, in the smack center of the radio dial, right
mainstream, prime time.
And of course this causes a lot of ruckus between these teenagers are listening to devil's music and
which seems to always be a theme in musicals that are based in the 1950s, and you got that you kind of got the both worlds where they love the music, but then you always have that authority in the background that's like, why are you listening to this music? This is bad for you. So that's in this show as well too. There's a cute little number in there based off of Huey breaking in and playing some records he shouldn't be playing. But that's what's so fun about it, is because as much as people back then wanted to shun the music and to not have it played, there's no doubt that rock and roll still to this day, like rock and roll is still so big and so popular, influential. Like there's so many songs that are now that I'm just like, that sounds so familiar. Something like Elvis might have played or whatnot. And nowadays there's not going to be anything as timeless as, say, something Elvis put out, or trying to think of some other rock and roll, Buddy Holly, oh my goodness,
Nat King Cole.
Yeah, it's like I hope that we have stuff timeless like that eventually.
Definitely. Yeah,
10, 20 years from now. But the fact that we can still say their names and people are like, oh,
yeah,
Elvis, I know Elvis. It's so cool, and that's cool to be a part of. This, like Teresa said, the music is what I love. Listening to that soundtrack, there's not a song that I skip at all, because it's fun. It's fun. Even the ballads are fun to listen to, and like she said, I think it's 85% music. I was looking at the music book and I was like, I sing again. And then I sing again.
Many
and I'm
songs.
like
many songs.
But they're so fun to sing.
And she can sing them too.
Thanks.
The other thing that I wanted to comment on as far as the show is concerned is it's about searching for and accomplishing your dreams, not letting your dreams, fall to the wayside, which shows you, which Huey shows you, he will not give up. He will not, he just won't. And Felicia has dreams, and he knows what her dreams are, and he will do anything to make sure that she realizes her dreams. Which is another
aspect of the love story.
Yes, another aspect of that love story of, people, and even Huey's mom, she has dreams. Everybody in the show has dreams.
Nice.
The person who plays her brother, he has dreams.
And they're all simultaneously
they're
happening.
all simultaneous. To say, who is going to, have their dream, get their dream, have the dream, actually, happen.
Definitely. Now, this is a huge production because of the history with the musical, and being such an influential part to each and every one of you for your own reasons and whatnot. So I know you were saying it was so pivotal to you to switching over. So, just the influence of this production alone is just, I'm in awe of it, and I haven't even seen it yet. I am not kidding you. So I cannot wait. So through this production, what was the most challenging thing for you guys?
Oh,
I can tell you right now. The scene changes.
Oh, wow. Because you have 80% music and dancing?
But it's not even that. You have a radio station, you have a recording studio, you have a bar, it's like, and the way the music goes, they don't give you enough chance to change the scenes. So again, being a director and reading through the script, and I take note. There's notes all. I have 2 scripts. I have 2 scripts, and they go, okay, this is my vision, but this is what we can do. And so you look and you say, okay, well, how are we going to do this? And I said, we're going to do a lighting thing. Okay, so we make notes in there about we have to do lighting. And then even last night at rehearsal, when the choreographer said, how are we doing this? When she said something, and then all of a sudden it's her show and it's her concert
from the living room to the concert.
She's in here, and then it's I said, we're gonna do a lighting thing. we're gonna revert to
lighting. And lighting is a big deal.
Lighting is going to be so important in this show. Yeah. But I would say that is probably the biggest challenge of all, are the scene changes and making them smooth and believable. People are on the phone, there's no phone cord. It's like, well, we're going to pretend we're on the phone, and I don't want that. I want it to be as real as possible. And so that's kind of like, to me, is the biggest challenge.
Yeah, that is a big challenge.
The talent is incredible, and the dancing and the choreography. We have one of the best choreographers, I think, in the Metroplex.
Who is
Shout out to Christy.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
And so I just, keep thinking, okay, how are we going to do these, transitions and everything? And that's my only, it's still kind of my, as you can tell.
You're like, yes, that's the one that keeps me up at night.
I'd probably say for me, just keeping up the stamina with all the singing and whatnot. Because first of all, the music is some of my favorite, but just making sure I'm healthy and stay healthy. to be able to sing all the songs.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I'm like, you guys, on top of the schedule that you guys carry for this type of stuff, you have to baby your voice pretty much and your health. And then on top of that, you've got to get adequate rest. Yeah. And then you guys just hit the ground running. I mean, I can imagine even just practice and then going into the production. It's just when y'all are done, y'all are tears of joy too at the same time for many reasons.
But there are times when the adrenaline helps and it kicks in and you just, it's so much fun. I've imagined myself singing these songs to begin with before I got the show. So that kind of helps with just.
Is that surreal for you?
It is so surreal. Just like Jonathan, I think both Jonathan and I, these are our dream roles.
Yeah.
So when we got the word that we got it, I don't know about you, but I was like, this is the first time I probably was like, oh my gosh, like I get to play a character that I've admired,
that's amazing,
for years. And then I freaked out a little bit. Then I listened to the soundtrack. Then I was like, okay, I can do this. And it's just wanting to stay healthy and wanting to stay energized and in the moment. I'm excited to get on stage and to sing everything. The adrenaline helps too.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
We get tired, but there are moments where it's just like there's a spurt of energy and you're like, oh, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
But I love it.
Which keeps me up at night. Because you can't go to rehearsal and then you hear the singing and the dancing and the adrenaline is going. So then okay, good night everyone, and then you get home and there you sit.
And then you're in real life.
And you're like, okay, I've got to let me drink a cup of tea, let me do it. But the show gets continually runs in your head, and it's 11 o'clock and it's 12 o'clock and you think, okay, I got to go to work tomorrow,
Yeah.
And but you still kind of have it in your head.
I can only imagine what it's like. Like you almost have a shock coming home to real life because music is emotional, dancing, and when you're watching someone as themselves put to life what you are working on, you're breathing life into this production. You get home and everything seems so boring.
You're like, when's rehearsal?
Yeah, you're ready to go back.
To go back to rehearsal.
Definitely, you go with an excitement, and I'm sure it comes with its headaches and everything else, but it's hard to come off of that. I would imagine you have almost like what me and my girlfriends call a vacation depression.
Yeah.
Where you get back and you're like, oh man, my life, why am I still working here? Why can't I be on vacation all the time? So I can imagine as much energy, blood, sweat, and tears that y'all put into that, y'all still do have that, so to speak, production depression going back to real life.
And I think it's going to be really hard once it's over.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that.
It's like the end of a season and you're like, no.
Yeah.
That's when you have cast parties.
Nice.
Let's get together.
Definitely. Because I would imagine you get really bonded. You're together all the time.
And it's a very, very nice cast.
Yes.
Every single person.
How many cast members do you have?
Oh my goodness. 26 total.
I think.
Nice.
And there are people who play, and the play was written this way, that there are several people who play multiple roles.
Interesting.
Yes.
Definitely. So I'll be watching for them. Oh,
I feel like I saw her a while ago.
double roll.
And our ensemble is amazing. Dancing.
Oh my gosh.
I'm exhausted watching them.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
and I'm step touching, and I'm just like.
First off, I gotta say, there's this girl, Sydney. She's in our Main Street ensemble and one of the big numbers of Act 1 radio. There's this whole dance break. And there's one moment where she's just going across, doing some trick, and she does this huge flip. Nothing, her hands don't touch the ground.
Oh,
it's just
wow.
Boom, boom. Yeah, and I'm just like, see, I'm not a dancer.
It's okay.
But I'm just like, you'll probably hear me just scream on stage whoa!
That's your real reaction, by the way.
No, literally, it's just the dance talent in this show just amazes me, and I'm like, my role is is one of those roles where he is on stage the entire show. I mean, like we're trying to figure out. It's like, okay, when are we going to be able to do these costume changes?
Yeah.
When can I drink water? So it's a very high energy role. But it's like I see our ensemble and I'm like, yeah, I'm still good with doing what I'm doing. They can, I'm like, I don't have the energy for that.
Right.
But yeah, so it's, I'm really looking forward to this show.
Yeah, it's hard not to watch them. You always have to catch yourself like, I got a scene coming up. Because they're so fun to watch.
Yeah, you get wrapped up in it,
and
don't
you're like,
you?
oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
And they learn it quickly.
Yeah.
Christy, she's on it. She teaches and they catch on very quickly. She teaches very quickly. And to watch them put it all together and they literally learn it in maybe an hour is so fun to watch. And I have to catch myself like, you got a scene, Christian. You can't be you can't be distracted that easily.
Well, that's one of the things that we did when we ran Act 1. And I said, okay, I don't want you practicing. I don't want you are in the show. You just sit on the sidelines and say in your mind, okay, I'm in this next scene. I'm in this next scene. It's okay for you to watch, but you need to know when are you on deck and when are you going to come out and where are your entrances and your exits and all. That's what you need to think about as we run through it. And so we did. I mean, we went through Act 1. And one of the actors looked at me and she said, I don't think I've ever been in a show where we ran Act 1 this early.
I love it.
And I said, yeah, but we're not done. We're not finished. It's just we have a long way to go. Like we're running Act 2 Thursday. So
wow.
So
well, you guys have definitely tackled a really big themed production here. I cannot wait to see it. And I hope that every one of you goes out and watches this. Music Theater of Denton bringing Memphis to us with these lovely people here. You have 2 comments here. I'll go ahead and point them out. Shelley Denning giving you the thumbs up.
Yay!
And Shawnee Kleinhens, can't wait to see it. And these will, you can respond to those people and say thank you, or I will.
Well, we can't wait to see you.
I know, right? We can't wait to see you see it.
Right?
That's something Huey would say.
One of the things I do want y'all to plug in your social media for whatever, where can they find you guys if somebody wants to see more of your work, more of your project list? Where do they find you guys?
I have my personal Facebook page. I don't really have much of a big social presence. You can find me on Instagram at John Mickey, JONMCI. And if you want to check out my acting website, it is johnmickey.com, JONMCI. Or if you want to see more of my photography work, like we had for the poster, it's jonathanmckinnis.com.
There you go. And I'll be checking that out because I want to see your stuff. I'm like, behind the scenes and in front. Okay, we got to check them out.
My Instagram handle is Sita Wita, CITA, WITA _ WITA 86. I believe that could be completely
Isn't it the
wrong.
weirdest when somebody asks her? I'm like,
like what? Like when they ask you
your cell phone number.
I
don't know. Call my mom.
It's like I don't know my cell phone number. That's my Instagram, and then you can find me on Facebook, Christian O'Neill Houston, because my mother tells me I need to use my middle name. So
there you go.
I have to listen to Mom, but
say hi to Mom.
Hi, Mom. I have to listen to Mom. She's like, use your whole name. They need to know who you are.
There you go.
Because there's so many Christian Houstons in the world.
Christian O'Neill.
Oh, O'Neill Houston. That's it.
Yeah. And Miss Teresa.
Well, because I'm old, I don't really have all.
I saw her go for her phone.
I know I have an Instagram account. I have no idea what my handle is. My son-in-law, kind of helped me with that. And I looked down at my phone, and it's my son-in-law is watching you on the radio in Denton talking about her upcoming production. Aww. And I'm thinking on Instagram, and I'm thinking, how are you doing that?
Oh my God.
Hey, you know what? Some of us are not. I still don't get the Twitter thing.
I don't get Twitter.
I don't get the Twitter thing. I'm sorry.
I have 2 Twitter accounts.
Do you really? If you how do you get to your I have no idea.
Have no, but
get
it happens here and there.
I'm the kind of person whom like I'm finally using Twitter. Hashtag that is a lie.
The only way I use Twitter is if I am on Instagram and automatically have it sent.
Yeah.
So proud.
Otherwise, I don't even know how to. Yeah, definitely. So you guys have some more comments here. Shelly Denning. I'll be on stage. Shelly Pinder and Shawnee is my mom.
Aw. Hi, guys.
And Angelica. Hey, Angelica. She's my team diva.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay.
My partner in crime.
Giving us heart eyes.
Yes,
Heart eyes
definitely.
back.
She actually told me, I was like, I'm going to have Memphis on the show. And she's like, oh, my gosh, you're going to love it. So I'm like, okay, I have to see this. And she spoke very highly of the production. So we're going to definitely check that out. But thank you guys so much for being here. It is always a pleasure to have people that work with MTD here, and I will definitely want you guys back if y'all are ever in town again. Thank you so much for sharing your talent with us, and I cannot wait to see this production, guys. You guys can get tickets at MTD, probably musictheaterofdenton.com, and you can probably get them here at the Discover Denton Welcome Center, so you guys do not miss out. It is going to be showing May 4th through the 13th, so do not miss out on this wonderful production. I cannot wait. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie on DentonRadio.com. We'll see you next week.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't miss the Thin Line Film, Music, and Photo Festival coming up soon. Make sure to register at thinline.us. And while you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at classicofdenton.com.